We're back now at 8:17. She's sold millions of records, won hundreds of awards, and dominated the music scene since she was about 16 years old. And did I mention she can also act? The multi-talented Beyoncé Knowles stars in the new thriller Obsessed, playing a woman whose life is torn apart when she suspects her husband is having an affair.
Please. Sharon, come on.
Get out of my house!
This is crazy, Sharon! Don't you see what's happening?
Get out of my house.
Nothing happened with this. Okay, you know what? You just tell me what you want me to do, and that's what I'll do. Huh?
First, I suggest you pack
Beyoncé Knowles, good morning. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
You were just about to tell him what you want him to do, and we didn't get to hear that, but we will, I'm sure. You got so much attention for the last two roles that we all talked about, between Dreamgirls and playing Etta James in Cadillac Records. And I think the critics were great. They thought you did a wonderful job. But there were some people on the side saying, well, she's playing singers, and she's a singer, so how hard can that be? Did you make a conscious effort to go out and do something completely different?
Well, honestly, I never had a problem with doing roles with performing and singing in it. I actually am a big fan of Barbra Streisand, and I think one of the best things she did, she was so vocally talented and could also, she was a brilliant actor, and she did them together. So I think I will continue to always do musicals. And actually, the last role I did, the drama was way more difficult than the singing.
The singing part,
and
exactly.
I felt like after I did that, I felt like I was finally ready to do something that had no performance to lean on.
This character, Sharon, at first blush, is a character who has it all. She's got a great life, she's got a great husband, things are going really well until someone actually, comes into her life and just tears it apart. Tell me a little bit about it.
One of the things that attracted me to the role was the fact that, you know, in the beginning, Sharon, you think it's this peachy life, and she's very charming and very smart. They have a great relationship. But in the end, she's the hero. And usually in these movies, the husband comes and saves the day. But she decides not to be the victim. Someone is in her house, her child is threatened, and she's the one that fights for what she believes in.
And fight, and thank you for giving me the word fight, because that's a perfect segue. There's a scene in here, and there's a couple of really dramatic scenes, but there's a scene in this movie where the person you go up against, who's played by Ali Larter, by the way, you go at it.
Oh, yes, we
in
do.
a brawl. No stunt doubles here? Are you doing a lot of this stuff?
Oh, yes. We both did it, and, you know, we were bruised from the bottom of our wrist up to the top of our shoulders.
How many takes do you do on something like that?
It took a couple of days. It took a lot of choreography, a lot of planning. You know, we went through certain things, and we changed a lot of things, and we wanted to make it our own. We didn't want it to be too much of a cat fight, so it's not too much, it's not any hair pulling. It's like a real brawl.
It's a brawl, but I have to say, she's been on this show a few times. It's a mismatch. You got a much better fit. I mean, she's a lovely young lady, but you should take her 2 out of 3 times.
I think I am a little bit bigger.
Tell me a little bit about what else is going on with you. I know you're about to start a year-long world tour.
I am.
110 shows or something like that?
Yes. I've already actually done a couple of shows, amazing shows in Canada, and I'm going to Europe, I'm going to Croatia, I'm coming to America, Madison Square Garden.
And one of the things
Day.
I really like is, you know, we're in tough economic times in this country and all around the world, and you're asking people who come to your shows to bring non-perishable items to chip in.
Yes, I am. I teamed up with General Mills, and our goal is to donate over 3.5 million meals to local food banks. And I'm really proud of that. Also, $20 tickets plus a service charge.
Which is nice.
For 2,000 seats, so everyone can come and see the show.
Can we get to something utterly ridiculous?
Yes.
So there's this thing going around on the radio where someone apparently released what they said was an audio recording of your microphone.
Here.
The last time you were on the Today Show performing outside, and they separate the music and the backup singers. And from what I hear, it sounds a little like a combination of dogs barking and fingernails on a blackboard.
I've heard.
Turns out it's a complete prank.
Yes.
Someone has stepped forward and said they tried to create this.
Yes.
When you hear stuff like this that it's created, what do you think about?
I haven't heard this, but I do know that whoever did it was a complete joke. They said it was, and it's so amazing to me that someone in their home can just do a little prank, and it can end up on these major radio stations.
It gets spread.
And people really were like, how could you believe that because I heard it was very over the top.
It was a little over the top, yeah, and I can tell you, I've listened to the performances. This is not anything from the Today Show. I want to also ask you about something you did a couple of months ago. You got to sing At Last.
Yes.
As the first dance song for President and Mrs. Obama at one of their inaugural balls, and it looked as if that was very emotional for you.
Oh, beyond. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine being there, looking right there, right in front of us, and seeing this history being made right before my eyes? It was really the highlight of my career, and I feel
Are
like
you sure
I've
it was
worked.
the highlight of your career?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like all the years I've worked, you know, so hard to get that opportunity, that's what I worked for.
You spoke to Michelle Obama a couple of days after, I think, and what'd she say about it?
She was, you know, very gracious as always, and I'm just happy that they personally asked me to do the performance.
Wow, highlight of your career. That's
Absolutely.
pretty big stuff. Beyoncé, and you're going to perform for us in the next half hour.
I'll be performing a
Right here.
single, Halo.
All right, thanks very much. Let's go upstairs to Meredith.